All right. So, welcome back to the show. Dan Edwards with the Eastside Real Estate team on Seattle's Eastside Real Estate Podcast. And next up is our guest, Michael, who is Michael Roberson with his Prime Home Inspection. So, let's bring Michael on the stream. Welcome to the show, Michael.
Hi, how are you?
Now, Michael is a man of fewer words, as his introduction is Michael's a home inspector. He's amazing. So, tell us a little bit about yourself, Michael.
So I was actually raised on Guam. I moved out here recently with my family about 4 years ago. I've always worked on properties either as I started from a cleaning business to contracting, now moved on to home inspection. So I've always kind of been in and around houses. I'm married, 3 children, love it.
Fantastic. Now, you were traveling over the holiday. Where were you at?
Oh, so we were down there in Manchester. We've been visiting family and friends. Bunch of fireworks. Had a great time.
Awesome. You've got all your digits still?
Oh yes, still there.
All right. So there's lots and lots of home inspectors out there. Tell me what separates you from the competition?
The first thing I think really is that I have a wife who is a real estate agent. And so I have a lot of empathy for what agents have to go through, that whole process of either selling or buying a home. And so with that, I don't have any like set times for inspections. I don't, I understand how time is of the essence. So if you were to call me and say, hey, we're on a time limit, I need to get this inspection done, I feel like, as long as there's communication, we can always get it done. And then on top of that, I always try to make sure that my reports are very thorough, easy to understand. If my client doesn't fully understand what I'm saying, I feel like I failed in my job. I want to make sure that everybody is comfortable, and just a lot of that anxiety has been tampered down, and is enjoyable.
Okay. And so whom and why should someone get a home inspection?
So I would say everybody, right? So if you're somebody who's selling their home, definitely going to want an inspection done, especially with the market how it is now. It just makes the transaction a lot more smoother, eliminates a lot of questions. And, first and foremost, it just makes the transaction a lot smoother, right? And then for the buyer side, this couple of weeks ago, I did this inspection for a buyer, and everything looked great from the outside. The roof was great, everything was great. Got into the crawl space, and it was just a mess. The galvanized piping, plumbing, everything was leaking. So it ended up turning into almost a $30,000 fix. So even for a buyer, it would be great to get an inspection. And now recently, with the market being the way it was, a lot of folks had to waive their inspection originally. And so now they're coming back and getting their inspections done. So yeah, everybody definitely should get an inspection done.
So when you do an inspection, it is from the roof to the crawl space. Why is the crawl space so important?
Because the crawl space is going to be where the foundation is. Everything kind of gets built up from the crawl space, right? So, and a lot of the real expensive problems, I want to say, is going to be found in the crawl space. So if you have a foundation issue, maybe HVAC ducts are not properly installed, or even just the plumbing is not properly installed. So you definitely want to get down into the crawl space and make sure that everything is great down there.
Okay. So what is something that a lot of people overlook?
So one of the things that I noticed that a lot of people overlook is simple things such as caulking, maybe just caulking around the exterior of your windows, exterior doors. Just make sure that water doesn't get in. Lately, with the weather being the way it is and it's nice and sunny and it's warm out, I have folks who are asking me, hey, Mike, is it okay for me to put a jacuzzi tub on my deck? Sounds great. And, but I would definitely recommend that you have a contractor come out, put some additional supports. It's really not designed for that much weight. So yeah, that's something you would definitely want to have somebody come out, evaluate, and fix for you.
Okay. So do you have various types of inspections that you perform?
So I kind of touched on it earlier. So I do the pre-listing inspections for sellers who are trying to list their homes. And for them, I actually have two different types of reports that I give to them. I would give them one with the pictures and a summary page, something that they can use to make the repairs or whatever fixes that they need to do prior to listing the home. And then what my second type of report I would give to them is one without all the pictures, without all the summary page, because I understand that it is a business, it is a sale. And so you don't want to just put all the issues glaring, put a spotlight on it and say, hey, this house, this many problems. Because realistically, majority of the issues I find are not that big. It's an easy fix. And so, I just don't think that spotlighting the issues is great. And then, of course, for those who waived their inspection and bought, definitely get an inspection. And with that, you would also get tips on how to maintain your home. I also make sure I give each one a manual, a little home maintenance manual, just like with anything else with your vehicle. House is exactly the same. It needs to be serviced. And there's some things that, some very important information in that manual as well.
So why don't you share one of your horror stories of inspecting a house and just like wanting to leave as soon as possible?
Honestly, I've been fortunate. I haven't had an issue where I wanted to leave right away, but I've definitely been shocked. It's like you get there, and I stopped prejudging houses basically from when I first started, right? So I would get there and I say, hey, wow, everything looks great, and everything does always look great on the outside, right? But there's been times where I get into the crawl space, especially the crawl spaces, because a lot of times nobody's ever been in there for like 30 years sometimes. But animals do get down there. I've been warned a few times that there might be a raccoon in there.
Oh, jeez.
I've seen
noises.
Oh yeah, spiders. You name it, I've seen it. So I make sure to put on a full hazmat suit, diving suit before I get down there.
Yeah, that's definitely not my domain. No, thank you. Not interested. All right. So, what keeps you motivated? What gets you excited about doing this?
Really, what keeps me motivated is just, it's so cliche, but I really do enjoy just helping someone. I love the look of relief in their face once the inspection is done, and I go over the inspection report with them. That's always great, right? Anytime you can help somebody, especially on a purchase of a home, right? Because I'm a family man myself. I understand how important homes are. And so just being able to help those folks, and then just keeping busy, just trying to support my family every day, just looking at my family and trying to do right by them definitely keeps me motivated.
Awesome. Well, any last final tips about home ownership you'd like to share with us today?
Yeah, so I was really racking my brain on this one, right? There's so many different things, so many different tips that I wanted to give. But one of the things that I have noticed repeatedly, and is a really simple fix, but the damage that it causes is extremely expensive to fix. So the first thing would just be a downspout extension. So a lot of folks have downspouts that come right down onto the foundation wall. Just having water constantly pound on that foundation wall. And once that wall cracks, the fix on that starts at about $25,000, I heard, up. But the extension, you can pick one up at Home Depot for like $15. It's not even that hard. So you put a little extension on it, save you a ton of headache in the future. Another thing that's very similar to the downspout extension will be mulch. So I see a lot of people doing mulch nowadays on landscaping. They put the mulch right up against the foundation wall. And mulch holds water and doesn't allow it to move away from the property. So you're going to end up causing damage to your foundation wall. So those are two simple things that you can do. Just start the mulch about six inches away from your wall, and you should be fine.
Awesome. Well, Michael, I really appreciate you. How can our clients, listeners, and colleagues get a hold of you?
So you can get a hold of me. My phone number is 360-362-9970. And my email will be info@PrimeSeattleInspections.WashingtonWA.com.